Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here, and today we're going to take a look at two new SBCs featuring legends of the game. Today we were given a Wayne Rooney Flashback SBC, and yesterday we were given a Sergio Ramos Player Moments SBCs. Both of these cards look like absolute filthy monsters, but the question is, are they worth bringing into your club? First, let's take a look at the brand new one we got today. We got Wayne Rooney as a flashback card. Let me find them, go through all of this stuff. Let's bring it on the live, all of this. And he's kind of far back. Wonder how many days. We have 6 days left to complete Rooney if we decide to do them. First, let's look at the price. It requires an 84 rated squad with a Man U player, an 85 rated squad with an English player, and just a plain old 86 rated squad. Packs back, small prime gold players pack, prime Electrum, and rare mixed players pack. So very average packs back, but that's fine. According to Footbin, Rooney would cost 230,000 coins. So let's take a look at his stats and see what's going on with this Rooney. So first off, high work rates, which I love. You know, Rooney's always known. I kind of liked him a lot. I got into Man U a little bit when Zlatan signed for Man U. Zlatan's just my favorite player. And Rooney was kind of at the end of his career at that time, but they would bring Rooney on as a sub, and it was just always fun to watch Rooney, you know, just that engine just always run. He just never stopped. So even when he would come on, he would just always give it his all. That's one thing I always have loved about Rooney, just always gives it his all. But 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high work rates. Then we start looking at his pace, 89. You know, my first thought whenever I see 89, I think of Hunter. That can make him 99. So you have an opportunity to max out Rooney's pace. So that's something you can always consider. We look at his shooting stats. He's got 92 base shooting, and you look up and down, every single shooting stat is already 90 plus. So that's pretty epic right there. Passing stats, the only one that's a little low is crossing, and every other one is above 90. And I doubt you would be asking Rooney to make many crosses. And also, even if you could, crosses don't work that well this year, so it's not that big of a deal. So his passing is through the roof. Then you look at his dribbling. All of his dribbling is high except for agility, and that's my first down tick on this card. Is agility is 79. I've preached this time and time again, but I feel like in FIFA 20, agility is almost the most important stat because you've got to be able to turn. The game in itself is a little bit slower overall, and then a lot of times we're playing in poor gameplay. We have a bad server connection, and when you have those big clunky players, when you know they may be usable when you have a really good connection, but when you have a poor connection, they're just turning like trucks, and it just allows defenders to surround them, and they're not able to get out of there. So that's the first down tick. Everything else up to this point has just looked through the roof. And all of his other dribbling stats are nice. Balance 92, reactions 98. And even that, I didn't even notice that one until just now. Composure 99. So, I mean, just absolutely insane dribbling stats, except for agility. You look at his defending, even his defending is solid. I mean, defensive awareness of 71 for this attacking minded of a card. That's really nice. And then we get into our physical stats where we have our second small down tick, and that's his stamina is 81. When you have someone like Rooney who does have that high work rate, you maybe could put him at cam with a stay forward instruction, and maybe that would kind of control him a little bit to where you could use him all game. But I wish I was like 86 or something like that because I don't really remember Rooney getting tired. You know, he was always just going at it. It seemed like just had that will to compete. So I wish that stamina was just a little bit higher, maybe 85, just a little bit above. It's not the end of the world, and we've been playing with cards all year with worse stamina. Like Dembele's one that comes to mind. I don't remember exactly. Let me check what Dembele's is. It's really low, but before I tell you, we're running Dembele up and down the wing for a while, and he's able to make it. But let's see. Dembele is not in form, has stamina of 69. So, I mean, that's 12 lower stamina points. So we're kind of getting to this point in the game where we are kind of getting greedy, I guess. We're wanting every single stat to be at team of the season, team of the year level. So, I do wish it was a little bit higher, but it's certainly not one to write off this card. So the only other problem I have with this card is linking him. He is a championship player, so there's not a whole lot of other championship options. There is a league SBC that does have 2 pretty nice championship players, but then you still have to figure out how to link them. So, or if you, from Icon Swaps 1, I know on my main account, on Icon Swaps 1, I took Gerard. If you had someone like Gerard, that would give you a strong link with the English bond there. So that's something that could work. But that's so my three problems with this card: agility, stamina, and linking. So, but other than that, this card looks like an absolute monster. As far as chem style goes, I know I mentioned Hunter earlier. I think Hunter could give some potential to that, depending on how you want to use them. If you're a pace monster, Hunter is probably the way you want to go. I'm kind of thinking for me, if I got him, I would probably play him as a cam or striker. I'm not sure which one. And I would maybe use marksman. And marksman would give him shooting, dribbling, and physical, but it would boost his shooting up in the key areas more than, say, a sniper. So a sniper would also be something I consider because that would boost his agility up to 89. You could also think of an engine that would give him +5 in pace. It would give him +5 to his agility. And I mean, if you're already happy with what his shooting stats are, it would make his passing through the roof and make his dribbling really nice. But I'm thinking maybe my number one would be marksman, just because that would make his shooting just absolutely immense. Would give him a little bit more agility, and physicals always comes in handy, especially on a player like Rooney who's already really high physical. It makes him just Superman physical through that type of stuff. So this Rooney card I do rate. I think it's a really strong card if you can link them. And maybe we'll play around with linking them in a little bit because I played around with the next card that we're going to get to. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next one, Sergio Ramos. So, and I guess I should say for Rooney, I don't think he's overpriced. I don't think he's underpriced. I think he's right on the money. I think that 220, 230 range is right where he should be. So it's not a bargain, but it's not also not overpriced. I think it's exactly where it should be. The question will be, can you link him? So if you can link him in your team in a good way, I would say go ahead and do him. I think he's going to be a monster for you. So let's find our other one. The other one is the Ramos under this players tab. Yeah, there he is. So here's Player Moments Sergio Ramos, right back, absolute. I mean, you look at this card, it's an absolute monster. Look at this. 91 acceleration, 87 sprint speed. His shooting is nice, and for me, if I'm playing him at right back, I would still say, we'll get to this in just a minute, I would rather play Ramos at center back, even with these stats that have been boosted here. And even if he did play at right back, it's rare that I ever have my right back in a position to shoot. So it is nice that he has some shooting stats, and maybe one every 20 or 30 games, they'll have a potential where that may come in handy. Or maybe if he's in on a corner, the ball will fall to his feet and you can blast it in. You see that from time to time. But so the shooting stats, I'm not that concerned about. I mean, it's nice that they're there, but it's not something that's going to sell me on the card or hurt me on the card. If the shooting was 63, it wouldn't change my opinion on anything else. But the passing stats are important if you are going to play him as a right back, and I've talked about this earlier too. I feel like wing play is so important, and when you have a fullback that can make those passes up the wings, it just completely opens your game up. I've talked about how I do love Nelson Semedo, just his gold not informed card, but when you're playing with him, his passing is not that great. And so when you make those passes up the wing, if you have someone like Semedo or Wan-Bissaka, they're maybe passing it too far, it's going to the corner flag, maybe it's going too wide, it's not weighted right, they're not controlling the ball. So the passing is very important. So they have made his passing pretty nice. So he is definitely usable as a right back. Just for me, I would rather him still stay at center back. So vision 75, free kick accuracy, short pass, long pass, all of that stuff is solid, very solid. Now his crossing is a little poor, and there are times where you maybe do get your fullbacks going up the pitch a little bit more, and maybe you do want them to send in that type of cross, and it doesn't happen often, especially, and it's also hard because crossing doesn't work that well in the game, but there are times where you do want your fullback to be able to make a cross. Dribbling, now this is where they have really boosted him up. He's got 87 agility, 97 reactions, 94 composure, 93 ball control. I mean, just absolute monstrous stats, especially if he was going to be at center back. I mean, that's amazing agility even for a right back, but they have just really made him super top level here. Now, the defending and the physical, I have the 91 Sergio Ramos. I got him from my red picks from a weekend league a couple weeks ago whenever he was in that team of the week. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they made his defending and physical identical to that 91 Sergio Ramos. And I will say, I think he is a top-line defender. I've got him paired with Jeffrey Kondogbia Shapeshifter card, and they are just monsters at the back for me, but they have not changed his defending or physical from that 91 Sergio Ramos. And I'll double-check on that shortly, but that's exactly what I believe that they did. So, and again, I'll just attest that I do think Ramos is an absolute monster as a center back. Now let's take a look. I did kind of play around with some ideas because I do think Ramos is best suited as a center back. So I kind of started a squad or just was thinking out loud about a squad. I think this would be the makings of an amazing team. Like if you look at this, we have Ramos at right back, Shapeshifter Conte at center back, and Shapeshifter Ferland Mendy at CDM. So you could start off in this base formation, and then what I would do in game is switch Conte to CDM and then put Ferland Mendy as the right back because Ferland Mendy has 5-star weak foot. He's already just an absolutely amazing left back. He would be an amazing right back. And so this would be a team that would be absolutely epic. And you'd have a lot of ways you could go with this. You know, just go back to our basics for Kim style. You could put Tomori right here. That would give you a strong link with Conte. You could even put Virgil right here. You know, go with that Premier League if you have David Luiz that you did before. So there's several ways you could go from there. I guess even Azpilicueta, if you wanted to do him. I had some concerns about his strength. But if you were pairing him next to Ramos, that would maybe work pretty well. You could also even put, if you did Azpilicueta, put him right here, and then that would give you another link to Ramos. Not that he needs it, but you know that's something that you could do. And then in goal, you could put Lloris, you could put Van der Sar. I know a lot of you have Van der Sar from Icon Swaps now. You just have a lot of ways to build, but you know this kind of gives you the nice structure for something that you could build if you decided to do that. I'm not saying I will do that or won't do that. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of a way you could start this and then move Ramos to where he would be a 10 Kim center back with these stats. Now, for me personally, let me just go into my main team here. Find my main teams, just show you guys what I'm talking about. And I've said this a couple times, and after playing, you know, I think I'm 12 games in on Weekend League, something like that, maybe 11, I don't know. I'm absolutely loving this team. This Lautaro card is absolutely a monstrous. Nainggolan, for me, has been the best box-to-box midfielder I've played with all year. He's just an absolute insane monster. But let's just talk about Ramos because that's what we're on. So I've got 91 Ramos. I love playing with him. But let's look at his defending and physical. Let me compare this to the other Ramos. I just want to make sure I'm telling you guys right on his defending. And for me, and let me back up a second. The Ramos, let me see what that's going for. I should have told you guys what I think about the price. Let me get the updated price up here from FootBin. So the Ramos has, I think, 3 parts. Yeah, 3 parts. The total cost, according to FootBin, 487,000 to 500,000 in that range. So a little bit right around 500,000 is probably the best way to put it. And I think that's a very, very fair price for that level of Ramos, especially if you can get him on 10 chemistry as a center back. I think it makes him something like a 97 rated center back, according to FootBin, if you put an anchor on him. So that Ramos card is absolutely amazing. He's even someone that could survive team of the season if you can get him linked as a 10 chemistry center back. I think as a 7 chemistry center, if you're going to have him on 7 chemistry where you have him starting at center back on your team, I think we may get better options at team of the season, you know, and it just affects how many boost points he gets from his chemistry. But let me just take a look at this here, turn on concept players. So yeah, if you look here, boosted from my version, you can see the next best version of Sergio Ramos. His pace went from 75 to 89. His shooting went from 71 to 83. His passing went from 77 to 80. His dribbling went from 78 to 83. But they kept his defense and physical identical, I believe. So you see 91, 95, 87, 90, 93. I'm reading down that defending column. And this one, I believe, yeah, 91. So just identical defending and physical stats to what was on the 91. But where they boosted them a lot was pace. But for me, I'm not sure I'm going to do them just because I already have this 91. And I'm running them with a shadow. So what my stats are on Ramos are 92 acceleration, 83 sprint speed. And I would get a little bit, if I play him on 7 chemistry as a center back, as a right back playing center back, then I don't know if I'm going to get enough boost to make it worth it. Like agility is something that's really important to me. His agility's at 87. His reactions 97, composure 94. When you compare it to here, it is boosted, but I just don't know if it's worth doing that for 500,000 coins when I already have that 91 Sergio Ramos. But if you guys have any opinion on that, let me know down below. Tell me if you think it's worth it. If I did play Sergio Ramos, like just show you guys, like if I put that Sergio Ramos right here like this. You guys, let me know if you think that would be worth it. If it's worth that 500,000 coin upgrade. You know, and of course, we all have some stuff in our club. It's not going to cost us exactly 500,000 coins, but it is 500,000 coins of value. You know, so because if I use what I have left in my club, then I can't use it on another SBC. So for me, I don't know if I'm going to do it, even though I love Ramos. I just know we already have that 91 untradeable. I don't know if it's worth going to this 93 for that many coins. But if you don't have them already, I would say yes. I'd say it's 100 times worth it. He's an amazing player, and he's going to have absolutely amazing stats. So go for him if you can fit him into your team. This works out really well for me. And like I said, I gave you that idea of another way that you could link them to where you could get them, play them, start them at right back, and move them to center back. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video. Just wanted to take a look at those new SBCs, that new Wayne Rooney, new Sergio Ramos. Both of them look like absolutely monstrous cards if you can get them into your team. Let me know how they work out for you. Let me know how you're fitting them in your team. But anyways, guys, make sure to subscribe down below. Give me a big thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me everywhere. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye.